I need some help. We need somebody to run the video cam back in the back. We have any volunteer? You can attend this session for free if you do. Jeff, you're volunteering. Go back there and get a quick tutorial on what we're talking about and what he's doing. I want everyone to know that I do recognize the fact that Big Cedar is wearing a beach shirt just for me.
It's all the way out.
How did you guess?
Okay.
I just look stupid.
Right.
I'm not
I
really
don't think you'll need to raise it up and down, but if you do, turn
There's a
this
story
and
behind
loosen
that,
it.
but I'm not
And
going to go into that.
like that.
Okay.
All right, we're going to
You
go
need
ahead
to
and get
shut it
started.
off.
I want you
This
to know
is the
this is
button
one
to
of the
turn it
most
off.
favorite
And all it does is remove
panels
that
that
red
I
dot.
moderate.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
And what about
my only
recording?
duty is to
It's
introduce
recording
this
right
gentleman
now.
and then run away.
It knows everything you just said.
That's
Okay.
pretty close.
Thank
We
you.
did this
I
last
appreciate
year and it
that.
was a big hit, and it was one of the top things on the critique sheets that came back and says, does it need to be repeated? And it was an overwhelming yes. And that reminds me, be sure you fill out your critique sheets before you leave and turn those in tomorrow, because we do actually look at those. But we're going to be doing it a little bit different this year. We're going to be doing, Lee's going to be doing his thing out here, and then we're going to be breaking for the beverage break, and then we're going to come right back in here, and Lee's going to call the things that he's doing. And so that ought to be real interesting. And of course, we've got some dancers lined up that Lee's chosen and everything else. Everybody knows this gentleman. Everybody knows this gentleman has the most gracious and prettiest wife in CALLERLAB today. That's the only reason we let him in. Anyway, however, everybody give a big welcome to Lee Kopman.
What'd you do with the mic?
I got it back. Did I do that wrong too? I turned it off, please.
Oh, okay.
No, we've seen you eat. You need this.
All right, let's get our square up here, okay? And we're gonna get right to work. And before we get started, I'm gonna give them the mic and I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. How's that? You're number one.
I'm number one. Ray Brency from Burnaby, British Columbia.
I'm number one. Lilith Kopman, I better not make a mistake, from Long Island, New York. And don't tell me you could tell because of the way I talk.
I'm number two because I'm Roy Goddard from New Jersey.
It says I'm the number 2 female. I'm Betsy Goddard from New Jersey.
Ed Foot, Pittsburgh.
Sam,
From what?
Ed Foot what?
Pittsburgh.
Oh, Pittsburgh. I thought you said perturbed.
I'm Perturbed's partner. Pam Glasper from Toronto, Canada.
Jerry King from Van Buren, Arkansas.
Jody King, and I'm with him.
And I'm Lee, and all these people here are good friends of mine. We're going to start to deal with sight calling. And the best way I think you should start as a new caller, or even somebody who's been in the business for a while, is this way. Couples 1 and 3, stay here. 2 and 4, come over here. And face each other as head couples. Now, if you're running a calling school, or if you want to practice your calling, what you do is this. You set up 2 couples, and you set up a problem for yourself. Equivalents of right and left throughs, without calling a right and left through. Example, pass the ocean. Do a partner hinge, girls come back, and you did a right and left through. Fay on the top. We're going to get them back home again. Girls trade. Recycle. Slide through. Reverse flutter. Roll the girl a half sachet. Box the net. Drop hands. You're back home again. So what you have to do is we're looking for equivalents of right and left throughs, and you're watching them. Now, if you're a beginning caller, it's going to look like this. We want to do a right and left through equivalent, and we're going to get them on the other side, and we're going to lose our partner. here's how it's going to look. If you're a new caller, touch a quarter. Now let's see. Do a walk and dodge. This is how you're going to look if you're a brand new caller. Do a partner trade. Slide through. Pass the ocean. Girls trade. Do a partner hinge. Girls turn back, and you're doing a right left through. And when you start to, no, back here, you be quiet. Now we're going to get you back again, and make an ocean wave. Girls trade. Recycle. Okay. So after a while, you're going to get into the swing of things, and you're going to get used to it. And you're going to start to pitch these things out real fast. When you can finally do that and watch the dancers, then you start to get used to things, and you get the idea. Now, beside doing the right and left throughs, keeping your partner, you may want to practice doing the right and left throughs and losing your girl. Example, star through. Veer to the left, bend the line, and you've done it. You want to keep that same girl, come back, and get to the other position, and keeping this girl here, touch a quarter. Circulate. Do a partner trade. Roll the face. I know that some of these calls are not on the mainstream list, but it's not a bad idea to see what's happening, even if they're on the plus list. By the way, every time we get to any one of the dances that are here, too many of the dancers don't use some of these plus calls. They're all at the mainstream level. But we have many, many dancers here that are plus dancers, A2 dancers, A1 dancers. And what you're going to see is a lot of these figures at some of those levels. Pass the ocean. Are we going to get back to the right left throughs? Spin the top. She wants me to talk louder. Hinge. Girls turn back. Veer to the left. Bend the line. Reverse flutter. So we brought him to the other side. We're going to get you back home with the original partner. Touch a quarter. Split circulate or circulate. Do a half circulate. My gosh, we have a diamond. Cut the diamond. Half tag. I have not seen a half tag called at all while I've been here. At any one of the dances. Do a partner tag. Do a partner trade. Reverse flutter. Roll the girl a half sachet. Box the net. You're back home. You have your original partner. Let's practice with your partner leading to the right, because you have a lot of calls that you call where the heads lead to the right and circle to a line of 4. In my club, by the way, if you come there and you call heads lead to the right and circle to a line of 4, they will not know how to do that because you don't call circle to a line of 4. If you meet me after the dance, I'll tell you why.
You know.
We're going to bring us together and I'm going to teach you how to do that. All right, all the heads. The objective is to lead to the right and circle to a line of 4 without calling my favorite call. Pass the ocean. Hinge. Walk and dodge. Do a partner trade. Reverse flutter. I want you to fan the top. Explode the wave. Do you turn back? Touch a quarter. Oh, the good girls turn back. You went to the right without saying lead to the right, but using a bunch of calls. I'm going to have you lead to the right here with this partner by calling a number of other calls. California twirl. Pass through. Chase to the right. Girls turn back. Do a U-turn back, everybody. Touch a quarter. Walk and dodge. I may not call that, but I'm just giving you an idea of all the possibilities. California twirl, let the girl turn the guy under. Too bad if you don't like it. Box the net. Oh, it's a little bit of fun, so don't get excited. Pass through. Do a partner trade. And you're there. So what I'm trying to tell you is, this is the way you practice some of your sight calling, by using a number of different calls and setting up some kind of a problem for yourself leaning to the right, doing right, left through equivalents, moving them to the left, and using a variety of calls. I got about 35 calls here that you can use in order to move them into those different positions. You got chase, you got partner tags, you got peel-offs, you got crossfires, you got Dixie style to a wave. Do a right and left through. We're going to bring you back home again. Do a Dixie style to a wave. Be mature without peeking, take a wave. Take a peek and trade the wave. Explode the wave. Way to go. You better listen carefully. Chase right, but the boys meet and turn through. And the boy run around the girl. That's a little bit of a variation, you know. And you're back home again. Here's one, touch a quarter. Scoot back. Do a U-turn back. My gosh, it's a left-hand box of 4. Scoot back. Can you imagine that? Circulate. Girls turn back. Rear to your left. Where we did that when you're half sashayed. Boys hinge. You got a diamond. Why not use it? It's on the list. A plus call. Use it. Cut the diamond. Bend the line. You're back home again. Touch a quarter. Circulate once and a half. There's a diamond. The flip and the cut are on the list. It's a plus call. Use some of them. Cut the diamond. Boys roll. My gosh. Where are the girls? Why don't you promenade to the head position and face in? Not a bad idea. Boys touch a quarter. Not a bad idea. Extend to the girls. How do you like that? Do a walk and dodge. Do a U-turn back. Look what happened. You're back home again. So one of the things I want to tell you is to investigate. Look at some of the things you're doing and see what some of the possibilities are. Those things that I called are not hard. They're not difficult. But you got to think about some of these things. You got to, there may be a roll in there. Roll, by the way, is part of the Plus program. I wrote the darn thing. You might as well use it. Veer left. Veer right. I won't tell you about the call that's whatever. California twirl. Past the ocean. How many people call linear cycle at their clubs? How many people don't?
It's a Main Street Club.
I didn't ask you that. How many people call linear? How many people don't? How many people don't care one way or another? Do a linear cycle. Beautiful call. Let's see what we can do with it. Past the ocean. Don't tell me what I can do with it. Swing through. Little variation. Do a linear cycle. But the boys meet and turn through. Girls, why don't you courtesy turn him? What do you think of that? Pass through. Do you turn back? A little variation on the linear. Pass through. Do you turn back? Touch a quarter. I haven't heard follow your neighbor. It's on the list. Follow your neighbor. I'll make you happy. Spread. A gentleman trade. Why don't you spin the top? When you're finished, I'd like you to spin it again. If you get a chance at the end, you should hinge. You know, by saying those things, I really say it to my dancers. I talk to them while they're doing it, and they think they're busy, really busy. And there's no reason why you shouldn't do that. And I really mean that. It's a technique that I use. You may want to pick it up. Follow your neighbor. I think you should spread when you get a chance, boys, when you're in there, trade. Do a hinge. Circulate. Do it again. Boys, fold behind the girl. I haven't heard a fold yet this whole weekend. I didn't even hear it the last 2 or 3 years. Girls pass through. Star through. Boys trade. You can bend the line and roll away. I said you can.
We did.
I said you can. I'm just saying what I said when you were doing the call. I don't know how many people could call a slide through at a club and have success this way because you're half sashayed. I'm not too sure. slide through. Okay. The original couple number 1 do a U-turn back while the other's straight. Same sexes are facing. I would love to make a bet with how many people could do a slide through successfully at any club this in the country today. Slide through. Only 2 people are facing directly, yes?
Yes.
You might want to try this. Those that are facing, begin to right and left through. Oh, look what happened. Everybody's, well, normal, you know what I mean. Slide through here. And look what happened. The original couple number 3 roll away. Roy, oh, I forgot you guys here. Yeah. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, it's like this.
Go back.
Yeah. If you want to set that up, there's just 2 couples. We're in a square, I'll show that for you. We're in a square, 2 couples roll the half sachet. I got to stand there this way and do it. You have same sexes that are facing. I have 2 couples half sachet. And those that are facing directly begin a right and left through. No, I forgot to do this. Slide through. Okay. Those that are facing, we're going to normalize this. Do a right and left through. And it puts everybody with a girl on the right hand side, which is kind of neat. Now slide through and you're in good shape. I'm sorry about that. All right, square your set. Everybody.
Oh, welcome.
I was gonna say, there's no O.
So, one of the points I tried to make, number 1, is if you're a new caller, or even a caller that's been calling a couple of years, is if you want to practice your sight calling, get 2 couples together, 2 couples, and practice equivalent calls of right and left throughs, leading to the right, leading to the left. Do right and left through equivalents, interchanging girls, keeping your own girl, and do equivalents of leading to the right, leading to the left. You're coming back to original positions with your own partner, with your opposite, and watching them do it, and using calls that are on the list. For heaven's sakes, at the mainstream and the plus list, I listed about 34 calls here with the linear and the scoop back. We didn't even get to peel off. Or the diamonds, we did the diamonds, or flip the diamond, or cut the diamond, or tag the line. Use the calls. I hardly saw any of those calls that were on these lists. You're calling like you're afraid to use these calls. Use the calls I wrote, for heaven's sakes.
You should use nothing else.
Have the heads pair off. If you don't know what the heads pair off, well, it's not important. All right, now, all the calls that you practice with 2 couples that we just showed, we're going to do right here. You know right now that you can do an Alamein left, right here. So all the calls that we use, that we practice with 2 couples here, you're going to practice right here. I want you to do a right and left through equivalent right here, getting back here and keeping the same girl. Right here, keeping the same girl. You know you can do an Alamein left here. Is that it? We all agree?
Yeah.
Okay. Pass the ocean. Everybody hinge. Girls turn back. Veer to the left. Bend the line. Reverse flutter. Put her in the lead. Dixie style to an ocean wave. Now take a peek and trade that wave.
I'm not peeking.
Everybody hinge. Do a walk and dodge. California twirl. Slide through. Okay, you're right there. We used about 8 calls. You can spend the whole night right here without doing wheel and deals and circulates and whatever. Right here. All right, we're going to do a right and left through equivalent now, getting off the other side. Keeping the same girl. Veer left. Girls hinge. You got a diamond. Do a diamond circulate. Flip the diamond. Girls hinge. This is a facing diamond. Some people are not taught how to do a diamond circulate with a facing diamond. Why not? Do a diamond circulate. Right shoulders, of course. All the boys will hinge. You picked up a girl. You could trade the wave. You can have the boys trade and the boy run around that girl. Why don't we do that? Boys trade and the boy run around that girl. Bend the line, and all the boys with each other cross over. That dances well. Boys run around that girl. Pass the ocean. Recycle. We still haven't done the right and left through equivalent, right? All right, you're getting excited. I'm not. Touch a quarter. Do a, in the square we're in now, do a split circular. You okay? You all right? Boys fold. Girls turn through. Courtesy turn this girl. Put her in the lead, Dixie style to an ocean wave. We're getting close to the right and left through. Now, boys trade. I could say slip, but it's an advanced call. Explode. Star through. We did the right and left through. We didn't do it? No. Oh, that's too bad. Boys crossover. All the men turn back. Okay, we're back here. Okay, do a right and left through. What the heck? All right, now pass to the center. Center's pass through. Now all those calls, now we should, based on what you see here, if the center forward did a partner trade and pass through, they can do an Alabama left. Okay? But by practicing these two couple calls right here, just think about forgetting about the business of the square setup. Just think about what your objective is. You want to get these couples back to their corner. But think about what you practiced before with two couples. You know your basic objective is to get them back to their corner. But now we're thinking about two couple calls and we want to do some dancing right here. And we want to get them to do a right and left through equivalent without calling a right and left through. Touch a quarter. Scoot back. Follow your neighbor. I don't want you to spray. Take a peek, trade the wave, whatever. Spin the top. And when you get there, do a partner hinge. Each side, walk and dodge. Do a partner trade. And we did the right and left through equivalent. I want to resolve this now. Pass to the center. Center's pass through. And we're all set. But don't do this to do an Alabama left. I don't want to do it. Yeah. This Alabama left can be done here. However, I want to extend the sequence. Slide through. Roll the facer. Touch a quarter. Scoot back. Do a split circulate. Do it again. Girls turn back. Roll over the half sachet. Touch one quarter. All the boys do a U-turn back. Box the neck. Change hands. Now we're ready for the Alabama left. Don't do it. Okay? See what I'm driving at? So, if you're looking at a square right now, you got about 8 or 10 calls that you can do before you do the Alabama left. So what we've done now, right here, we've worked across the set. This side, brought him here, this side, practicing those two couple calls that you practiced before with two couples, with the swing through and the spin the top, zeroing it out, come across the line here, then going back. I don't want to do the Alabama left here. I got all kinds of things I can do here. By the way, if you have a new group of beginners and you taught them a swing through and a spin the top, a swing through for a new dancer is different when they're in the beginning wave and they're facing. It's almost like a brand new call. You can't assume that two couples facing, a beginner can do a swing through from a facing couple and when they're in an ocean wave. I'll bet any amount of money, when you teach a beginner, you probably teach them when they're in a wave. And then when you start to call and they're facing each other and you say swing through, they're going to be able to do it. No way. It's like a brand new call. You got to say make an ocean wave and swing through. Now we're going to do a swing through from facing couples. It's a brand new call. Same thing for any of the other calls. Any of the other calls. A spin the top, a spin chain through, a spin chain exchange the gears. So you got to be careful. Brand new calls. I just want to point that out when we talk about instructions. So if you're here and you're ready for the Alabama left, forget it. Work them a little bit. Touch a quarter. Split circulate. Do it again. Girls turn back. Roll it with a half sashayed. Touch 1/4. Good. Boys turn back for now. Slide through. That's a degree of difficulty there because they did the slide through and the guys were half sashayed. You got to be aware of that. I want them to chase to the right, not yet. I'm going to call a chase to the right and direct something for them. You probably shouldn't do it for your plus group. They're pretty highfalutin dancers here, but watch. Chase right, but make it a neighbor. Boys beat, cast straight, and spread. What we did was a chase your neighbor. Easily directed. Don't yell at me. That's the way it can be done. If you have some of these advanced calls that can be directed, try it. Nobody's going to get excited. You're meeting with the same group all week long. You don't have any guests. It's just you and them. Not a big deal. Try it. Recycle. Rear to the left. Girls hinge. Flip the diamond. Gentlemen trade. Everybody hinge. Boy run. Reverse flutter. I'm going to give you guys a chance to rest in there. Good. Slide through. Pass to the center. Okay, I can square through 3 to an Alabama left. I choose not to do that yet. I want to do something else. Touch 1/4 in the middle. That girl run. We got a slide through here, half sashayed. If your group can do that, fine. If they can't, that's your problem and theirs. You didn't teach them. Slide through. Bow to your corner. Everybody rest. Anybody have any questions at this point now? You want to get some fresh air out there too, rest, and then come back here in 2 minutes. All right, now, when you leave here, we're going to be here for a while. Now, after we're through here, we got about a 15-minute break for you to have some water or whatever, and you're going to come back here, and they're going to put a speaker out there, and I'm going to call for you. How do you like that? I'm going to call a little bit for you, and using some of these techniques that we had here. Anybody out there that dances that hasn't been here is SOL. Okay? So you might want to try it. I don't sound too bad, so you'll see. You might be surprised. All right? So rest. My guys are resting. Open up that door. Okay? Yeah. No, I don't have any. So talk to one another. If you want to ask me some questions, you can talk to me. Our objective for the first few minutes here was to teach how you can work with your own sight calling with 2 couples. Okay? That was our objective here. And some of the creative possibilities you could have before you do the Alamance left, or I listed about 38 possibilities here. But the 2 couples with the walking dodge, the half sachets, the runs, I didn't even call peel the top. I mean, that's another story altogether. I got another one here with the 2 couples. I'll do that in a minute. You'll see. Rest. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you why. If I pass this stuff out, you'll be looking at it and you won't pay any attention to me. You'll get it at the end of the dance. It's a booklet that I have. It's a college clinic booklet. And we're not even going to charge you for it. How do you like that? All right. Now we're going to get into circulates, wheel and deals, and whatever. I'm trying to remember formations. Close your eyes.
Us too?
Yeah, you two. No, not you two.
We're all passed out.
All righty, all right. I used to, when I first began, you can open them up just for a second, okay? When I first began, I went to a caller school to learn how to sight call. I went to Al Brunge's and Earl Johnson's, 2 of the best callers on the East Coast, and they were really good. And I loved the way they taught the school, and I thought I really learned how to do things. I came back, and we always said, well, what'd you learn? Can you sight call? I said, no, can't do it. I put the checkers down, I looked at the formations, I tried to memorize them, and I did my best to try to look at those checkers and move them around, and that was before they had all the programs, of course. And I looked at them and I said, well, I thought about it. Well, if the heads slide through and they square through 3, I know they can do an element left. And I try to think about that picture. And I said, well, suppose they have lines of 4. You know, 1P, 2P, 0 lines, or whatever you want to call it now. And I think about this and I see that lines of 4 pass through and wheel and deal. Where is 2 in relation to 1? Well, I had to see that picture. And then I knew that 2 was in front of 1. And if they zoom, 1's in front of 2, and in the middle, if 1 and 3 do a right and left here, then I knew that if you did a square through 3, you couldn't do an element left. Does anybody know why? Because the 2 girls in the middle were not interchanged. But I had to think about that. I had to think about the picture. That's what you really have to think about. And it takes time. Learning how to call is like learning a foreign language. When you learn the foreign language, and you learn a call, and you learn a word in a foreign language, you learn the words, and you transfer it into English. When you can think in the language itself, then you know the language. It's the same thing in square dancing. When you can think in the dance itself, you got it made. No question about it. Okay, now, close your eyes again. You have 0 lines, 1P, 2P, they pass through, wheel and deal. Who is the couple in front of 1? 2. You should all know that. All right, we're going to bring them back again. 0 lines. They pass through, wheel and deal, zoom, in the middle do a right and left through. Who's behind couple number 1? Okay, you got to know that right away, and that was good. Okay. Head couples, open up your eyes so you can look at me. There's a brand new jacket I bought for you. One of the critical things in calling is 2 girls have to interchange, as far as the way I call. If the head couples star through, you got 2 couples that have interchanged. Incredibly, not incredibly, it's the most important thing. If you have 2 couples that have interchanged, you're in good shape. When the heads slide through, of course it can square through 3 to an element left. Of course, if all 4 ladies interchange, you're in good shape also. If you put your checkers down, you can see that. But if all 4 ladies chain and you do a head star through, then you're back where just 2 couples have interchanged, you're in good shape where you can work it out. If you have lines of 4 and you slide through, you're in good shape too, because if you have lines of 4 and you have 0 lines and you have everybody slide through, you should know that if you square through 3, or you do a right and left through and you pass through, or you square through 5, you should know that you can do an element left. If you don't know that, put your checkers down and see what happened. You just have to know that. And you have to study, and you have to look at your checkers, or you look at your program that Vic or whatever have developed, and it will show you and tell you how to look at that and then eventually transfer it to the square when you're finally at your dances. There's no shortcut to it. And you can talk to somebody and they say, hey, do you see that? Do you see that? Yes, I see it. But do you really see it? Can you make an instant decision on what the heck is happening out there? Not so easy to do. If you see an ad for a caller school, and they say, come to the school, caller school, you'll learn how to sight call in a weekend, call me up. Impossible. Impossible. You want to be good at that? It's going to take you a few years to really learn how to do that. And if you've been calling for a long time, if you're calling swing through, boys run, wheel and deal, or Ferris wheel all the time, forget it. And if you're calling heads pair off, swing through, I'll bet any amount of money, if I started to cough, or any callie started to cough, and you told these guys to finish the call, they would say, they would run and they would do a Ferris wheel, or a wheel and deal. Because that's what they know. And you can't blame them, because that's what they were taught. And you want to know something? There's a certain comfort level that the dancers have, and they feel happy about it. And they keep coming back all the time. That's up to you. I'm not happy with that. I'm not interested in that. But if your club keeps operating, fine. Boys run. I'm not going to call a Ferris wheel here. Sometimes I will. Half tag. Hinge. Gentlemen trade. How about a fold?
How about it?
Who's asking you? Everybody fold. Slide through. I'm in great shape. You know why? 2 couples have their own partners and 2 couples don't. Great shape. I pass through, wheel and deal. Really good shape here, really good shape. The zoom. Centers pass through. All right, we're all set to do the elevator lift, but we're not going to do that. So let's see that sequence here, okay? Swing through. And I had the boys run, but I don't do that. Who's in charge here? He's very aggressive, but I'm crazy about him. All right, he had the boys run. I'm not calling a Ferris wheel, and I'm not calling a wheel and deal. I had them run. I did a half tag. I want to change it. And what makes me call like this and think like this is I'm impatient. I don't want to call the same thing all the time. I can't stand it. Boys run. I'm not calling, well, I may call a half tag, but do a half tag again. Do a split circulate this time. Do a scoot back. All right, girls, fold behind the guy. Boys pass through. This time touch a quarter. Now I'm involved with the whole set, all right? I want to eventually get 2 couples together and 2 couples not, all right? Girls circulate. Boys turn back. Well, what do you think about that? Do a Ferris wheel. Now we're talking about something altogether different. You got a girl on the left-hand side. Now it's a little bit tougher. Do a double pass through. I'm watching them. Watching them. Centers in. Well, centers in. What do you usually call? Cast off 3. Why? That's what you're used to, and that's what they're used to. Why? Centers run. New centers trade. How do you like that? Girls on the right-hand side. Did you ever look at it? You know what you have here? I bet you're not even thinking about it. I am. Pass through. Wheel and deal. Centers wheel around. Did you know that you can wheel around from there? And it dances beautifully? Slide through. Well, what do you know? Everybody has their original partner back. I didn't know that was going to happen. I didn't memorize it. I'm just watching them.
Do that again.
Buy the tape. Marshall Flippo. Slide through here. Okay, now you can square through 3 to an Allemande left. I can see that. I prefer not to do that. Pass through. Turn back. Square through. And on the third hand, you can promenade at home, which I don't want you to do. Just take a right hand, square your set. So, look for different possibilities. Whatever you do right now, say, hey, I usually do a grand right and left. I'm going to change that. I'm going to try something different. Am I getting through to you? All right, let's do something that I think is a little bit cute, and I want you to listen carefully. Heads pair off. Slide through. Pass through. Skip the first part and do a right and left through. Pass through. You be quiet. Skip the first part, do a right and left through. So a right and left through begins with a pull by and courtesy time. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm glad you agree.
Did you write that one too?
No, I didn't write that. It's not important what it's part of, because you get really upset with me. But it's another way of putting a little bit of fun in the dance. You know, even though I have a label of a challenge call, I teach beginners, I call mainstream, I call plus, I call everything. I just love to call. I have a passion for it. It doesn't matter to me. But why not say that? It's all part of the fun of the activity. Pass the ocean. Listen carefully. Skip the first part and swing through. Circulate. Watch. Skip the first part and hinge.
Trick.
Swing through. Flipper wrote that one down. I'll tell you that. Everybody hinge. I have not heard this call since I've been here for the past 20 years or whatever, boys fold, girls turn through. Why don't you courtesy turn her and put her in the lead, Dixie style at your wave. When you get there, boys slither by. Cute call, dances beautifully. Bend the line, roll her with a half sachet. I like that. Everybody now, box the net and drop hands. Not too bad. Just the ends. I like this. Pass through. Everybody, pass through. Wheel and deal. I want you to watch this. Centers pass through. We're talking about some variations in calling, some cute ideas, I think. Slide through here. Pass through and do a U-turn back. Now watch what we're heading for. I want you to watch carefully. I know that these guys know how to load the boat. I know. Pass through. Wheel and deal. You better know how to load the boat. Centers pass through. Each side, do the center part of a load the boat. All right, now, I'm going to ask you a question. Everybody wheel and deal. And do a, just for our purposes now, roll away with a half sachet, everybody. And the centers pass through. Why did I have everybody roll away with a half sachet first?
Where they're used to doing
Say it again.
it. Where they're used to doing it.
Right. When you do a normal load the boat, the center's a half sachet. You get the idea? So if you're going to call something that's a little unusual, don't compound their problem. Don't compound it. Now the centers pass through, everybody, you're okay. So, everybody's half sachet, and I'm asking them to do the center part of a load the boat. Watch what I do after I call it. You're going to do a center part of a load the boat. Pass through. Face out. Trade with your partner. Everybody pass through. You've done the call. Now watch this. California twirl. Just the ends load the boat. Center forward, pass through, and do a partner trade. Now just you four in the middle load the boat. And look what you got, an 8 chain through position. So the ends did one thing. I waited, had the center start, and look how it ended up. How did I know? Put your checkers down and look to see what's happening. I can't call the dance for you. What I'm trying to tell you to do is investigate to see what's going on. There are lots of things that could happen. Yeah, make an ocean wave. All right, we're going to do a spin chain, exchange the gears. And watch what I say, okay? Spin chain, exchange the gears, go. I want you to turn the star half so the first boy lead him across. Something different, yes or no? Yeah. Okay. All right. Swing through just for now. You better listen carefully. Spin chain and exchange the gears, go. Go ahead. I want you to lead him out to a wrong way single file promenade.
Walk this way.
And keep going, don't slow down. Ed. Everybody face to the middle. Join hands, circle to the left, go. Ladies in, the men sashay. Keep going. Stop there. Why did I stop there? Because I was watching and I noticed that the head couples were at the squared up set. Side calling, absolute side calling. Heads past the ocean. Girls trade. At what level is chain reaction? Okay, well, extend your tag. I'll probably get killed if I call that. All right, centers trade. Recycle. Rear to the left. I'm getting them back home again, okay? Do a Ferris wheel. Sweep in the middle. The others come down the middle, past the ocean. Slip, my centers trade. Hinge, girls turn back, and you're back home again. And that's good. I'm showing you some unusual things here, okay? Where I had them circle left, I'm going to show you another thing. Have the heads pair off while the sides roll away. Okay, everybody square through 2. Now this is going to be on tape, so you might want to take a look at it. All right, girls trade, just the boys bend the line. Take a look at this. I have no name for it. I do, but I can't tell you. Everybody walk straight ahead and circulate. Wheel and deal. Or do your part. Kind of crazy, huh? All right, all the girls slide through. If you don't know how to do a slide through with same sexes, you're out of luck. If you're looking at a girl directly, star through. Now, what are you going to do here? You got a problem. You got people in single file. People in single file, I want you to circulate twice, and when you get there, peel off and bend the line, and don't do this yet. Is peel off on the list? Yes or no?
Yes.
So what if it's plus? I don't care. We have a right to call plus here. If you're in single file, you circulate twice, peel off, and bend the line. You got 3 calls. Where are the others? You're going to circulate straight ahead, and when you get there, I want you to cast off 3. Go. What do we got here? And you're screwing this up. That's really going to upset me. Everybody walk straight ahead and wheel and deal. And you're going to be in a squared up set, which is okay. I suggest that you buy this tape so you know what's going on. And everybody join hands and watch. Circle of the left. Stop there. Girls should be in the head position. My partner's friend. Girls pass the ocean. Extend to the guys. All the ladies turn back, you're in good shape. Oh my gosh. Pass the ocean. All right, just the girls circulate. Recycle. We're in good shape. Everything is fine. Sweep a quarter. Square through. Pass through instead. Do a wheel and deal. Zoom. I'm getting you back. Center's pass through. Pass to the center and then do a right and left through. Why don't you slide through and you're in good shape. Okay. Some other unusual things that I wanted to show you. All right, face your partner. Turn it on the left, make an elevated guard, but don't turn it. All the sides do a U-turn back. Okay, you're in a VAR, it's a mixed VAR. Who are the, what does the swing through start with? Right. Tell me again. Right. You didn't say one word, you look like you're really upset with me. What does it start with? Right. Okay. If you try this with your dancers to begin with, and you can do this with plus dancers, you'll be able to do it not the first time. It takes a little time in here. Where's your right hand, guys?
Don't tell them.
Ready? Swing through. Turn right, and then left. She's tired. Where's your right hand? Swing through. Turn right, and then to the left. Everybody hinge. If you're looking out, turn back. At the head position, slide through. Great. Same force, slide through again, back away. The others come down the middle, box to that, and I think you're in good shape. Not too bad, I like that. Heads pair off. Slide through. Watch the square. Just the boys extend. Swing through. You have people here that are going to hate this. Too bad. Boys back up. There's a space for you. Extend. Just the boys. Well, let's be quiet. You don't want the boys to back up? Boys, take your peak and trade the wave. Extend to the girls. Okay, they walk forward. Everybody hinge. Take a peek and trade the wave. Spin the top. So the interesting, I thought part about that was somebody extending, swing through, back up, or change the formation of the way, then they can walk forward. Do a grand swing through. Is that on the list?
Yeah.
You happy? Everybody hinge. Girls, do a U-turn back. On the outside, clover, in the middle, pass through. And you four in the middle, California twirl, and I think you're back home. I'm cycling that. I didn't have that written down, so I'm watching it. So I'm just trying to tell you. If you ask me how do you do that, I don't know, because I wouldn't call it the same way the second time. I say that to you not because I'm showing off, but I'm just showing you. Allemande left in the Alamo style. You gotta have a sharp groove for this. Swing through. With a left hand trade. Left swing through. With a right hand trade. I talked to you about drinking, didn't I? Right swing through. With a left hand trade. Left swing through. With a right hand trade. Allemande left. You may want to try that. I'm not too sure. Promenade over. I bet you're glad that's over.
Makes me glad I drink.
Okay. And ladies, ready? Chain 3/4. Are you falling asleep back there on me?
No, sir.
That would really piss me off. You got lines of 3 here, see? Pass through. Well, you got the 3 here, and we got a little problem here because I want to create some kind of a formation a little different than this. Girls, you're the right-hand couple. Boys, stick out your left hand. Imagine it sideways, not forward. I knew he would do that. Imagine he has a partner, and we're going to do a wheel and deal, but we have to call it a 2x1 wheel and deal. So the girls are the right-hand couple, and we're going to do a wheel and deal, but we got to call it a 2x1 wheel and deal. So he's going to come in with his partner, ending up behind the girls. Do that, will you please? Okay, good. We have a number of possibilities here. We can have the girls pass through, and then we can pass to the center where he comes into the middle. So I would do that. Girls pass through, and with this guy pass to the center, he comes into the middle. You're not holding hands with each other. You're looking directly at each other, please. I want you to look through. Don't start with me. Now the boys in the middle touch 1/4, extend to the other guy, and the boys' hands are into the quarter tight position. Okay, let's have the boys extend to the girls, and the boy run around that girl, and let's take a look at this one more time. Fan the top, will you please? And I want you to explode, slide through, I'm going to get you back home again. Pass to the center. In the middle, fan the top. I'm getting them back, do a recycle. And let's have the head girls chain 3/4 again. I'm going to show you another possibility. And the lines of 3 pass through. And this is that 2x1 wheel and deal. Do it again, 2x1 wheel and deal. And let's have you zoom. And the guys looking directly at each other. All right, now before we didn't pass through, now let's do something else, okay? Let's have that boy in the middle, let me see, pass through. I didn't want to do that. Do you turn back? All right, touch a quarter, what the heck. All right, extend to the other guy. We'll just do it that way. And you boys walk and dodge. Cloverleaf, girl square through 3. And she's coming out to you. Why don't you courtesy turn the girl? And I like the way that looks. That's pretty good. Slide through here. Good. You should veer left and bend the line. I'm going to get you back real fast. Pass through, do wheel and deal. Those in the middle roll away with a half sachet. You want to face in. I think you're back home again. And you're looking pretty good. We only have about 5 minutes left, and then we're going to do some dancing. We're going to give you about 15 minutes left over. And the people that are invited to dance are only the ones that are here. So don't ask your friends to come in. And when we do the dancing, we're going to incorporate all the things that I've showed you before. Okay? Anybody? Let's give a nice hand to these people. I have a handout for you. And I also have a list of those 2 couple calls, you know, that that you might want to use, or you should use. At least if I don't have enough for all of you, think about the 2 couple calls that you can use with 2 couples when you're practicing your sight calls. I hope you enjoyed the session. 1/4, extend to the other guy, and the boys hinge. Boys left, swing through. Extend to the girls. Boy fold, girls turn through. Courtesy turn this girl. Are you watching, Mr. Haynes? Go 8 to the middle and back. Now pass through. Tag your line and turn to the right. Girls, identify yourselves. Work into those positions. Circulate. Do it again. Boys, turn back. With the girl you have, what level do you dance, mister? With the girl, I'm teasing him. He knows that. He's a friend of mine. Everybody hinge. Roll the face. He was. Star through. Go 8 to the middle and back. Now pass through. Chase right, but the boys meet and swing through. That's good. Extend to the girl. Boy run around the girl. Looks good. Now pass through, then bend the line. Now box the net. Now here, fan the top. And the boy run around that girl. And do a Ferris wheel this way. Centers pass through and veer to the left. Everybody circulate 1.5. Bend the line and do a good job. Face your corner. Walk around that corner. Turn partner to the left. And do a teacup chain. Does he know it? He knows it now. Does he know it? You know it? I'll teach it to you. Sides pass the ocean down. All the girls point to each other. Cross over. Now the line in the middle, bend it, and touch 1/4. Everybody doing all they circulate, you go 1.5. Good. Center 6, circulate 1.5. Good. All the boys run around the girl. I have no idea where I am. All the girls point to each other and pass through. I like that. With the center 4, trade and roll. While the others, girl push them, cast off 3. The others star through. Everybody now slide through. Those that are facing, begin to right and left through. You're good. 8 to the middle and back. I like it. Now here, pass through. Wheel and deal. In the middle, pass the ocean. That girl trade. And you 4 hinge, do a walk and dodge. That's good. Pass to the center. Slide through here and back away. The others down the middle and pass the ocean. Swing through. And hinge. And the boy run right. And I hope you enjoyed this session. Thank you for coming, and I'll see you whenever.